So, welcome back to the channel. We have Nick here with us this evening. Nick, how are you doing?
Yeah, very good. Thanks, Dean. How about yourself?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad. So, we'll get into it then. Obviously, yesterday, how do you think it went? Obviously, the first half, we'll go through that first. And then, obviously, anything that was said at half time that maybe changed what you wanted to say in the team talk.
Yeah, so I think we controlled the first half very well. We played some really good football up until the 6-yard box, to be completely honest. I mean, they didn't have a shot in the first half. Nothing that tested us, and our defence dealt with everything that was put on them from the long ball perspective. But in terms of how we played exactly how we wanted to. We controlled the tempo of the game. We had some great combinations, and we were getting into some great areas. I think the thing that was lacking was that sharpness in the box. And to be honest, I put that partly down to not having a game for 2 weeks. And just a little bit of off decision making, which again comes from that. So I thought we controlled it well. I don't think we were ever really in threat during the first half, and you wouldn't have batted an eyelid if we went in ahead at half time with how dominant we were. But we've got to start turning that dominance obviously into good chances and play the game a little bit. You know, they were clever at how they played the game, and we need to start doing that side as well.
So yeah, obviously going in 0-0 at half time. Was there anything that you said to the boys, or Luis has said to the boys, that you saw that they needed to change?
We changed a couple of, or tweaked a couple of little things, but to be completely honest, we just asked for more of the same, and we reminded them that no matter what happens in the game, it just takes one chance, one good chance. And as long as we keep defending the way we did, which was absolutely outstanding for the second game running, then we wouldn't let them through. And then it was just about what we do up the other end. And obviously, we've got to remember that we lost 5-1 to these guys in the FA Cup, second game of the season. So they pose a threat, and the fact that we dealt with everything they threw at us. In terms of that long ball was really good to see. And then in the second half, I didn't feel we got going, to be honest. We didn't really come out in the same vein after half time. We still controlled the game for the first 25 minutes, and then they brought on two young, pacey strikers, and they just kept running at our defence, and we dealt with it well, but it changed the dynamic of the game a bit. It gave them a little bit of a lift for about 10-15 minutes. And they had a couple of chances, and that's where we had to properly defend. You know, Ollie makes a fantastic save. Will and Dan, great tackles. Matt, goal line clearance. You know, and as a complete unit, from front to back, we defended really well. And again, I'd say in previous games, we'd have probably conceded a goal in that, and that just shows how far this group has come. And like I said to them at half time, all it's going to take is one chance. And okay, we didn't necessarily want it to be in the 100th minute, but it didn't matter when it came, as long as it came, and that chance came. A little bit of brilliance from Matt, and one for the dubious goals committee to decide whose goal it was in the end. But in my opinion, a well-deserved win from an overall dominant performance.
Well, no, I mean, it was going to lead me on to my next question, which obviously was the defence, another clean sheet. How impressed are you by the boys? Obviously, each game they are growing into the games and getting better and better.
Yeah, look, we've got a lot of depth in that position at the back, and these boys are keeping others out of the squad, and that's a testament to how they're playing. They've got a good bond, but also, you know, when we're in training and we mix things up a bit, everyone slots in and fits into it just the same. So we've got really good options there, and as a group, it will only go from strength to strength with that. The clean sheets are the way to show that things are clicking and they're taking on board what we're asking them to do. And without giving too much away, obviously playing the way we want to play, which is pivotal to certain rotations and things like that. So they're really slotting in together well, and we've got other players that are knocking on the door and ready as well. So we're in a very good position in terms of our defence at the moment. And like I said earlier, I think it's a combination of not only the defenders, but also the players playing in front of them, because they're picking up all the second balls. You know, we come up against a lot of long ball teams in the league, and they're picking up a lot of the second balls. So defending as a unit, a complete unit, is so important in this league, and that's what they've been doing in the last few games, and long may it continue.
No, definitely. So we will get on to the man of the match. I know he's going to love hearing this as well. So man of the match, reasons for as well for me, please, Nick.
Yeah, so just what I've touched on already, to be honest. So he obviously, that's Matt, obviously, he defended really well in the second half. I don't think he actually had his best game in possession in the first half, grew into it in the second. After a chat at half time and a couple of tweaks in terms of what our wider players were doing. And like I say, made that goal line clearance, which was obviously at a vital stage in the game. I think it was about just after 80 minutes. And made a couple of other very good defensive challenges. And then in the 100th minute, goes up the other end and puts a cross in on his weaker foot, which finds the back of the net. So it was a great performance from him. And like I said, we'll see whether the dubious goals committee decide that it's his goal or not, because none of us can work it out from watching the VO back, to be completely honest. But yeah, an absolutely outstanding performance in the second half, and a very important goal contribution at the end of it.
No, definitely. And it does bring me on to the final question I have for you as well. Obviously, the dubious goals panel is out. We welcome back Rory. How did that move come about?
Yeah, look, he got in contact with me on Thursday, and basically said that he wanted to come back and that he wasn't enjoying himself. So we had a chat, and he was missing the environment, which is again another testament to what we've created here, and also the morale and chemistry between the boys. You know, so it's really good that these players want to be at Aussie, and you know, it's not just Rory. There are other players that have come back as well, as you said. So you know, there's a good atmosphere amongst the group here, and everyone gets on with everyone, and that's such an important thing, and something that we've tried to create, because that then translates onto the pitch as a never give up attitude. And when you're getting deep into games and you haven't scored yet, and you need to defend well, and you need to then get that vital goal to win the game, like we did yesterday, that attitude from the players is so important, and that just shows why these players are coming back. So yeah, we welcome him back, and I look forward to seeing him on the score sheet.
No, definitely. Obviously, we do have a game on Tuesday in Milton Keynes. So yeah, as I say, good luck on Tuesday. We'll try and catch up with you before then, and obviously Saturday as well. But thanks for your time, Nick, and have a lovely evening, mate.
Cheers, Dean.